I'm pretty happy on two counts. At 9:30 this morning, Monday, little Ava Hook turned up in the world, and that makes grandchild number 5. So I'm pretty happy, and particularly to have another girl is good. And of course, I'm pretty happy just how well we did in Paris. But there's no doubt it was the one that got away. Rugby teams should not lose with an 11-point lead at halftime. Just simply shouldn't happen. So I suppose the real question is, what did they do right to get to 11 points in front, and then what did they do wrong to blow it? Well, it was pretty easy to say what they did right. They actually did what so many people had suggested they should do, which is defend really aggressively by coming up fast, which most teams around the world are doing now anyway. But we did it really well. Particularly someone like Johnny Sexton. It's rare to have a fly half with that sort of physical presence to get involved. And the game suited the back row because the French were betwixt and the between. They didn't know whether they were playing a kicking game or a running game. They had picked a running fly half, but they'd picked a game plan which was really to beat Ireland up front. So the whole thing got confused. Tranduc made Rob Kearney look like the greatest full-back in the world. He may well be, but Tranduc certainly helped in his canonisation. And so here we are. We got a couple of breaks. The second try was a well-worked try. The first one was just sheer French incompetence, but we took it. Suddenly here we are, 2 tries, 17-6 up, and we're on our way. Now what happens in any kind of sport, when there is a break, intentional or otherwise, sometimes somebody comes out after the break better and somebody comes out after the break worse. So what we saw was France come out better and Ireland come out worse. France came really straight out of the blocks after half-time and went at us. And I have to think we sat back a bit. I think psychologically we tried to protect the lead. And then we suffered a number of problems. One of them was clearly fatigue. We'd put in a huge amount of work. But the line-out creaked. Okay, you said we only lost 3 line-outs, but it's where we lost the 3 line-outs. It's when we lost the 3 line-outs. We lost them at crucial areas of the field at crucial times. The second thing that contributed to it was our indiscipline. Now, not indiscipline in the sense that somebody's just stupid. It's indiscipline caused by the fact you are under incredible pressure and you think, I've got to do this. And really great players say, well, I don't care how much pressure I'm under, I'm not going to do it. The count, and this is very important, the penalty count was 11 penalties against Ireland, just 4 against France. So under all the pressure, remember what the pressure France were under in the last 5 or 10 minutes or so. They didn't give away a penalty at that point. Third reason we didn't win was really we didn't organise a drop goal in the last 10 minutes, and I think we should have done. And we've seen it happen. We've seen Munster do it in the Heineken Cup. We've seen the Munster pack recycle the ball over 40 times before O'Gara slotted it. Sexton never... and I think it comes from the fly half. I think the message comes from the fly half. It says, put me in position to drop a goal. And keep going. Now I'm ready. And then he bangs it over. At the same time, at the other end of the pitch, the French were just awful in the same circumstance. They couldn't set up a drop-at goal. A drop-at goal has never been easier. In 150 years of rugby union, a drop goal has never been easier because it's so easy to keep the ball. Ruck after ruck after ruck until you get to the position in front of the post and then your guy knocks it over. If you've got your match tape, then have a look at it. Look how far back Boxis had to stand. Look how bad the pass was then because he was standing so far back. Ferris was able to charge one down and the other one was a dreadful attempt. So I think both teams last night would have been thinking we screwed up a drop goal which could have won the match for us. What is worrying is that Ireland are now the worst line-out in Europe. Statistically, our line-out is worse than even Italy's or Scotland's. So next week, what's going to happen? Well, we'll talk about that next week, but just a little preview. It's easy in a way to go away from home, to play a favourite, then of course you haven't got a lot to lose, so you give it your full shot. Now next week we're at home against a team we are expected to beat, so therefore that puts a different pressure on us. So I don't think that this match against France, getting a really good draw, and I'm delighted, I'm thrilled, is a bit like Australia in the World Cup. Beating Australia in the pool stages mean nothing if you don't go forward in the knockout stages. So what this game in Paris means is, can we move on and win 2 more games, and we got a pretty good return with just 1 loss in the championship. It's going to be very hard to do, and I look forward to thinking about it and talking to you about it next week.